Offseason, the Broncos made wholesale coaching changes, primarily on the defensive side of the ball. And the way they're playing right now, maybe they wish they had some of the old crew back. Speaking of which, Josina Anderson has the story of two former Broncos coaches making well for themselves.
Yeah, Chris, and those two former coaches are Andre Patterson and Kirk. And you know, last season, both coaches actually helped the defense off to such a stellar start that much of the media began to compare them to some of the greatest defenses of the past. But just as quickly as everything went right, things went wrong. And both Patterson and Dahl found themselves stunningly out of coaching, but later on a journey towards remembering why they love it.
When you feel that you need to make a change, obviously there's changes.
Well, it was a shock. You know, it was a shock.
After losing their job as the Broncos secondary coach and defensive line coach, it would be easy for Kirk and Andre Patterson to take joy in the Broncos' current 3-game losing streak.
And the ball was intercepted by Sammy Knight, and that one is going to do it.
The Colts are going to move to 4-0.
They really have not had an answer for the San Diego offense.
Well, to be quite honest with you, I haven't really watched a whole lot.
So I'm not sitting back every Sunday and hoping that they lose.
I became a better coach being at the Denver Broncos.
I think that's why people have a hard time believing me when I say I have no bitter feelings. You know, I have a great deal of respect for Mike Shanahan.
Now, sure, their defense bore a large share of the blame for the Broncos missing the playoffs, as did their 21st ranked pass rush. But Patterson explains the defense, which got off to nearly a perfect start, paid a price too for the offense's inconsistent possessions.
We played a whole bunch of plays and we had some injuries too, and you know, all those things played a part of us wearing down.
But Patterson's and Dahl's exit hasn't worn them down, as both interestingly now teach their sons as full-time coaches at Regis High School.
All right, here we go. Set. This has been truly a blessing. It's been great to be at home with him and my daughter and my wife. You know, I've never had an opportunity to coach my son in any sport.
Patterson persuaded Dahl to reap the same reward.
And back pedal, 90, back pedal. His son was here and was going to work, and I kind of helped out in the winter a little bit in the weight room just to kind of get out of the house out of my wife's hair. And you got to learn how to be a normal person, and you know, so you have some transition there.
A transition, though, that has inescapably and poignantly affected young A.C. Patterson and Kyle Dahl.
I'm more calm when stuff happens, like when we have to move and stuff. I'm not all worried, but my parents, my mom and my sister were more worried.
Obviously I don't think my dad should have been fired, but it's, you know, that's Mike's job. He made that decision, and
I've lived in 7 different states throughout my life, so that's been kind of the theme.
You just wonder, you know, what high school am I going to go to next and how hard it's going to be to make friends and start all over again.
So to help their sons through it, both father coaches have exemplified the lesson of channeling your energy in positive areas.
So the transition basically is to find another team, and so we put our emphasis on Kyle's team.
I thought it'd be awkward at first, but, you know, it's nice to be around him, more than usual, you know.
Despite some occasional screaming and coach speak.
I don't even understand what he's saying. He just yells gibberish stuff, you know. And
the first time he saw those eyes get big, it was kind of I saw a surprised look in his eye.
Even though he gets mad at me sometimes, he teaches me the stuff that I need to know that are the tricks of the trade.
All tricks of the trade that helped lead Regis to a 30-0 victory last night as they work towards their goal of making the playoffs with coaches and players who are all teaching one another to appreciate the journey.
That victory actually coming from last Saturday. Regis also won 14-13 today against Chaparral. Obviously, both coaches are both enjoying the challenge of helping Regis get into the playoffs. But interestingly, when I asked Patterson if he would return to the Broncos if asked, Patterson, without hesitation, said he would instantly accept. Chris?
That's a great story. And, of course, the Broncos need some help defensively. Worst rushing defense in the NFL. Sunday night's opponents, the Pittsburgh Steelers, second best rushing offense in the NFL.
Good point.
Great story. Great story,
Absolutely.
JoJo. Thank you very much.